Top 5 Best Nikon DSLR Camera. Number 5. Nikon D7500. The Nikon D7500 is not your typical compact camera, and it's got the perfect mix of all the features in this list. It is a little pricier than the D750 and D3500 but offers more advanced technology. It can record 4K videos, and its 51-point autofocus system is spot on. In addition, it's the right piece of gear for all wildlife photographers as well as shooting sports photography. Aside from its exceptional value for money, what I personally like about the Nikon D7500 is its rugged build quality and lightweight, perfect to take on a trip anywhere. I also want to highlight the manual controls available in the menu. As a whole, while it's on the same level as other cameras like the D5600, it's still very much worth its value. Pros and cons: tilting touchscreen display, advanced controls and technology, 4K video recording, high-performance ISO, fantastic for low-light shots. The 8 frame per second shooting and the 51 autofocus points give excellent results. You can only insert one SD card as opposed to 2 for other cameras. Slightly heavier than other Nikon DSLRs. Coming in number 4. Nikon D3500. What I love about Nikon cameras is the fact to bring excellent resolution to every photographer, and the D3500 is the perfect example. Well established among all other Nikon DSLRs, it's one of the cheapest yet most powerful cameras, with a camera body available for a few $100, making it the best camera under $500. With such a big difference in price between the D6 and D850, you'll be surprised to know that the D3500 is not that far behind in terms of quality when attaching the right Nikon lens. That being said, the D3500 doesn't have numerous manual controls and the autofocus system is outdated compared to other Nikon DSLRs. But again, I recommend this camera to anyone starting in the photography world. Pros and cons: compact dimensions and easy to carry. The best value for money on the Nikon market. Excellent and crisp image quality, comparable to high models. The cheapest and greatest alternative to a mirrorless camera. It doesn't have image stabilization, so moving shots may not be great. No touchscreen, only 11-point autofocus system, and no 4K video recording. Coming in number 3. Nikon D780. If you want a similar quality to the D850 but aren't quite convinced by its price tag, the D780 is the perfect alternative, and it's the best Nikon camera for video. With a 24.5 megapixel sensor, 51 autofocus points, and the option to record 1080 pixel up to 120 frames per second, it's one of the best Nikon cameras you can get. Did I mention its battery life can record up to 2260 on one charge? On top of that, it has 2 SD card slots, and it will become your best friend if you're shooting portraits or wedding photography. The dimensions are also better compared to other cameras: 5.6 by 4.5 by 3.0 inches and only 840 grams, or 29.6 ounces. In plain words, it's one of the best Nikon cameras, and I can't recommend it enough for portraits, weddings, landscape, and even wildlife photography. Pros and cons. The 51-point autofocus system is fantastic. The tilting touchscreen makes controls easier to handle. The full frame takes the image quality to a whole new level. You'll benefit from Nikon's newest technology in a beautiful DSLR. The price is relatively high but 100% worth it. While the image quality is great, the camera only has a limited sensor size. Coming in number 2. Nikon D850. Jumping right back into the professional levels, the D850 is the best Nikon DSLR camera in terms of value for money, and even outranks the legendary D6. With a resolution of 45.7 MP and 153 autofocus points, it's the best specs you'll find in a Nikon D-series camera. Apart from that, the 7 FPS frame rate can go up to 9 FPS if you use Nikon's battery grip. Also, I love the fact that it accepts SD cards, unlike the Nikon D6. It's also a great ally for YouTube since it can shoot 4K up to 30p and the battery life will last you hours, or 1,840 photos. On the flip side, the price is quite on the upper end, starting at $3,000 for the body only, so it's definitely a camera for those that know what they're doing. All things considered, the D850 is the best Nikon camera for portraits and professional photography, and you'll take some of the nicest photos you've ever shot. Pros and cons: top-class build quality, customizable options, and image quality. The autofocus system, made up of 153 points, is out of this world. Its 45 megapixel sensor and the base ISO 64 are the best you will find anywhere. It offers the full package for both photography and videography, recording 4K. Although the Nikon D850 is worth it, $3,000 for the body only is pretty hefty. Heavier than other cameras on the market. Coming in number 1. Nikon D5600. If the Nikon D6 is not what you need for your next camera, then the D5600 will definitely do. This high-end entry-level Nikon camera is affordable, has a great autofocus system, and even a rotative touchscreen display. I would say it's the best camera under $1,000, kit lens included, and that will benefit both beginners and pro users, particularly if you're into landscape photography. Equipped with a 24.2 megapixel sensor featuring 39 autofocus points and a decent battery life allowing you to shoot 970 photos in one charge, it's one of the Nikon D series models you should keep in mind. Sure, it's already quite a few years old, originally released in November 2016, but the technology behind it will not stop you from getting award-winning photos. Pros and cons. Great price for the value. The image quality will blow you away. The 3.2-inch touchscreen is a great addition. Good dimensions to carry everywhere you go. It's not compatible with AFD autofocus. The control layout doesn't offer many options.